I found it as the feature of the people who live in peninsula, like Italy and Korean people. We have a lot of things in common, I noticed. Do you know what the peninsula is? Peninsula? It's kind of geographical kind of feature that one side of the land is connected to the continent and the rest of the three sides are surrounded by the ocean. That's what we call peninsula. In Korea, we call pando. Okay? And I heard from somebody that the people who live in peninsula, they tend to be very trendy, meaning they are super fast and astute and shrewd when it comes to reading what is new, what is trend, and what's going on. So they are really kind of moving fast when it comes to really just getting on the trend. Do you understand that, right? So what I'm trying to say here was Korean people, we are very fast to recognize what is the it, the trend. For example, like sometimes the fashion, some kind of particular the styles of the pants are super popular, and even the food got super popular. And we talked about tucheonku the other day, and when in Korea everybody is eating tucheonku, all the cafes and the places they sell tucheonku got blanked. That means we see a lot of places they are selling that dessert. More and more cafes and the places, even the restaurant, they sell the particular dessert. Why? Because so many people are looking for it. You got that? So this means this being reproduced a lot. That was very easy. Make it as an adjective form. Like any other field, like filmmaking industry is a very, very male-blanked industry. You can see a lot of directors and producers, they're men. You don't see many female directors and even producers, but there are so many successful, professional, proliferated producers and directors in Hollywood as well. But when you look at the ratio of the industry, you can see that there are more men in this particular industry. So we can make a sentence. The film industry is a very male-packed or male-blanked industry. That means there are, let's say, 70% of the men and the 30% women. Yeah? Okay, let's use the word the one of you actually used today. We have in Korea 사자성어, which is 과유불급. Yeah? When I say the word, you should be able to guess what I'm trying to say now. Studying hard and fulfilling your duty as a student, teacher, manager is a great thing. However, doing too much work or even the spending blank hours of the work can't be good. I even saw the interview today. Elon Musk was elaborating how kind of work addict he was. I mean, he still is. He used to work like 20 hours or 22 hours a day. He was sleeping on the floor. He works literally like 24/7. And that is like really intense amount of work, right? So that we can call that is very blank work, blank work ethic, the blank amount of energy that you're spending. I don't want to use the word wasted, but I mean, it's worth it. It turns out to be great things for him and his company. But when you look at how the human body works, you can't really work like 22 hours a day. You gotta sleep, you gotta eat, you gotta take a rest. For number 4, I'm gonna use 2 words in example and try to guess it. Number 4 is easier relatively, I think. When you pursue the blank degree, you need to, this is a mandatory, you need to complete your blank. So I'm using 2 words in the example. When you pursue the blank degree, which equivalent to, let's say, PhD, right after you've obtained the master degree, you go for the blank degree. That's number 1. And if you want to get that, you have to submit your dissertation or blank. So this one is the second. Affirmative action, abortion, death penalty, and corporal punishment. These are the all blank topic that you could have a beautiful, hot debate. Meaning, people will have a polar opposite opinion about these matters, especially abortion and death penalty and affirmative action. There are so many blank topics that you could do the debate with, and people have very polarized opinions about this matter. Like you're coloring red, then the opponents will say blue. We're talking about very, very different clash arguments. That's number 5. Do you guys remember the US presidential election when the Kamala Harris versus Donald Trump? Do you guys know about that? When Donald Trump got elected, he was running for the presidency, and the opponent was Kamala Harris. Do you know that? No? You have no idea what I'm talking about? Okay, let me just give you another example then. Like Korea, we had this Yoon and Lee Jae-myung. Do you remember that moment? You don't remember that? Like, obviously, Lee Jae-myung is the president now in the administration, and Yoon Suk-yeol used to be the president. And when they were running for the presidency, correct? Yes? These 2 candidates were the representative from each party, political party. We're talking about a Democratic Party, we're talking about Republican Party, yes? There are a Conservative Party, we have a Liberated Party. And since they are the 2 top biggest candidates in the presidential election, there were other candidates that might have lower rates or lower numbers of the votes. However, each candidate, they needed the help. They needed lots of support. They need even one single vote from the one citizen, correct? So what they're looking for is the support from another candidate, valid, legitimate candidates. So if the other candidate decided to support the running presidential candidates, then they could really say, oh, I'm dropping out the race. Instead, my supporter, please send those votes to the candidates that I'm supporting right now. So you can say the current candidate is being blanked by another just dropping out candidate. You can make a sentence that way. People ask me, Kwan, which animal would you prefer? I always say dogs. Yeah, I don't think I'm a cat person because when I look at those two different species, I see the clear differences between those dogs and cats. And dogs are easy, and I feel like they are loyal. I like that. I like that about that dog, the animal. But the cats, they're kind of tricky, in my opinion. When I look at them, what do you want? I can't really read their mind, and they seem very indifferent, and they don't seem like they want to play with me. But sometimes they are reaching towards you. I heard, and I heard that the cats are blank, though sometimes they show some kind of soft side from them, which kind of makes people want to have a cat pet, I assume, because that's a kind of attractive characteristic. Though the cats are blank, sometimes they show some kind of sweet companionship or kind of sweet side of them. I heard that usually the cats, they don't really kind of shake their tails or they don't really kind of approach you. But when you feel so depressed, cats slowly walking towards you, try to comfort you. When I heard that story, I thought the cats are pretty tricky, but it's kind of sweet. You got that? Yeah? You are the teenagers. And I used to be that way too. When I was a teenager, I used to be that too. Teenagers are the ones who could say, who could be the most blank in the world. They say no to everything. They don't really kind of admit or acknowledge the authority. And they are not afraid of anything. They are not scared of anything. And they challenge against any kinds of power or authority. You can say that teenagers are the most blank creatures. So there is some kind of joke that when any country try to invade us, we can send a whole bunch of chungi students, yeah, because they are not scared of anything. They don't really kind of like feel any fear. All right, guys, that's it. We have